Hello, guys. In honor of me turning 23 in less than 12 hours, it's 11 hours, Jesus Christ. um, I'll be mentioning some random events that happened to me when I was 22. Yeah, so fun. Um, as a Taylor Swift girlie, I was really hoping that 22 would be a great year because, well, she has a whole song dedicated to just being 22. If we're gonna ignore nothing new, then 22 sounds like a amazing time. Well, she wasn't kidding when she sung "Miserable and Magical" at the same time. Yeah. What the fuck? So we start out, but honestly, I had a really great birthday. I got drunk, had a lot of fun. It was nice. It was red themed. I love the color red. It was amazing. Um, then my parents get here. And they have taken the dog with them, so that was really nice. He didn't really. The floor was way too soft for him. So, not soft, smooth for him. So he was gliding and glitching all over the place. Anyways, that was the last time I saw my dog. Yeah. Anyways, then I go to Hungary. Had a fun time. Don't really remember a lot. Feel like we didn't do that much, but I still had a fun time. It was really fun. I saw Lake Balaton. Um, Amazing. Then my dog dies. Yeah. My life has been. I haven't really prepared this. I think for my Instagram caption of like my long post, I'm just gonna make like a long post being like, so this is absurd things that happened to me when I was 22. My dog dying, or like my mom called me to tell me that my dog died half an hour before I left to go on vacation. Amazing. Great. 10 out of 10. Um, um, I'm trying to think of more absurd things that happened in like that summer. I mean, oh yeah, figured out that a friend of mine that we both liked each other at the same time 2 years ago. But then at the time we were both dating other people for like a long time, like a year and a half or something, um, almost or longer. Then both of us break up with those partners in autumn. And yes, then we hook up in March. We didn't break up because of each other. That's very clear. We just didn't like each other in the times that we liked our partners. But yeah, that is an absurd thing that happened. Slay! um, yeah, say goodbye to my boyfriend, my then boyfriend on the train station, which will then turn out to be the last time that I'll ever touch him, since I then break up with him 2 months into being in England. He smokes 12 cigarettes on one night because of me. Amazing, and he doesn't tell me until we're breaking up, I think. And he also said like I am. I was also thinking about breaking up, but I thought it would be fine. I was like, I don't know. And then he proceeds to start talking to his. He's sad for 2 weeks, and I thought it would end his world. And I was sad for 2 weeks, and then he proceeds to start talking to his friend, who later tells me like, oh no, he didn't talk to me like at all when you guys were dating. And then we started talking, and then I asked him out for dinner a couple of days later. Yeah. which then, which was December 12th. A fun fact. Oh, which was less than a month. Which was before I even hooked up with anybody else. If I think about it, I got mad. They and on December 15th he deletes the love song playlist that he made for me. December 19th, I think, and it's like then he starts doing things with me. So wow, amazing, great. And then they get together, January 28th. While I'm sitting on a mountain in fucking Edinburgh being like, you know what? I'm gonna leave all my love and everything, all of the past things, on this mountain. I'm gonna leave him on the mountain. I am healed. And then I was hit by a truck. No, not literally, but just like the grievance of the relationship. Wow. Yeah, I got hit by that. And then I proceed to see him February 1st because he still has the fucking keys to my place. And then my dad is there as well. You know what he asked me when we're walking to the city center to get food? Oh, how is he? Like, did you ask? I was like, oh, we didn't really talk. I thought you saw that. And I was like, are you guys back together? I was like, no. Because you were the fucking teenage. I already had a girlfriend. He didn't tell me that then, though. And I was standing up with a kiss on my back. Another fun thing that happened to me this year is every single time when I flew, I had hickeys on my neck. Just every single time. The only time I didn't was when I went from home to England after Christmas break. And then I didn't have any hickeys on my neck. But when I got into England, I had hickeys on my neck. When I left England, I had hickeys on my neck. When I left Scotland, I had hickeys on my neck. So I have invested in a scarf and a turtleneck. Anyways, back to the absurdity of my relationship. Honestly, I already told a lot, but it's still absurd to me that he then proceeds to tell me that they're dating 5 minutes before the class we all share. And I'm just standing there like, I have a guy, and I proceed to tell him, there's also a guy at my house, but we're not official. Girl. And then we end up in the same group, which our teacher definitely did on purpose, but then we asked her later, and she was like, no, it was completely random. Why? And like, girly pop. Anyways, that said guy that was at my house, we went into the canteen when I saw those two walking, so they may have seen us as well. The lore of that guy I will say at a later point. Yeah, anyways, then I proceed to see him like twice a week. Send him a voice message at some point. It's like, yeah, that's pathetic because it's been 4 months. And he's like, it's fine, I'll send you voice messages. It has been 4 months, so yeah, you are right about that. But like, And then, things are fine. And we have fun. I stalk his girlfriend on social media. She stalks me back! We have a good time in one of the classes because at this point we're not awkward anymore. We're chatting. We're having fun. I look him in the eyes and I'm like, fuck! I'm still in love with him. Cut the cameras. Also at this point, I started working because I realized I'm too much at home and I'm too much thinking. I need some distraction. Who the fuck starts working to have a distraction? And then I know that he's gonna go to this event, and I'm gonna go to this event slightly out of school, and then like I see him biking past. Mind you, still at this point, There's only been one time that I didn't immediately recognize him when it was just like in the corner of my eye. Other than that, I always sense it. I always know when he's there. Insane. So yeah, we outside school event, we need to take the train. I see him biking past. I'm like, that's not his bike. But I think that's him. I know exactly which fucking clothing he has on. Jesus Christ. I walk to the station. He goes down the escalator. But he doesn't look at me. I walk past him putting in the coins. I was like, of course he is. And I get food and coffee. Because of course I am. And then I proceed to go to the platform. He's on a different platform. We wave at each other. He goes down and goes to my platform. I'm like, alrighty! And then we just chat and I see that he has a hickey on his neck. The only time I've seen a hickey on his neck. Which is still like, wow. I was biting that man dry. Like, the people of our class must know one thing. And that we had sex. Because there were rounds on his neck. Anyways, and then I'm like, oh, how's your relationship going? And he's like, good. It's different because I'm more confident. I'm like, alright. I'm gonna follow you on social media because I do not get over anything ever. And I'm like, alrighty. Now I'm crying, but my best friend, we're gonna go shopping, and I bought a huge disco ball. And then it was over it. And then a week later, his girlfriend texts me. And he's like, can we please talk? So we talked before that one class. You know, at the first class, he told me, like, oh my god, they're dating. And then before the last class, we talked for like a whole hour. And it's like, yeah, so I've been stalking you. And I'm like, girly pops, I've been stalking you as well. It's just that I'm more discreet about it. And it's just like, yeah, so LinkedIn, Minecraft skins, Letterboxd. I'm like, damn girl. Anyways, here's my things. And I was like, oh, you want to be friends? And he's like, I cannot be friends with you and him in a group setting. I'm like, I cannot be friends with him because I'll never get over him. I didn't say that explicitly, but that is going in my mind. Yeah, then we go to class. And now we're friends. So we proceed to hang out for like 8 hours with my 2 best friends. And then she proceeds to tell me, like, oh yeah, I was actually really insecure at some point. So I may have asked him, like, oh, how's your relationship going? Well, it wasn't going that great. Sorry if I made you torture even more, but that's like, And I was just like, oh yeah, I didn't actually meet his dad or his friends in Hungary. I'm like, oh, I did. And then she says, like, oh, what if I move into your building? I'm like, oh, it's a really great building. So last year, exactly on this day, I was texting my then boyfriend. I was like, hey, can you pick up like this cake, please? Because I don't have the time to do it. This year on my birthday, and on this day, his now girlfriend is texting me like, oh my god, I got an apartment. You know where the apartment is? There. Above my neighbor's apartment. There's probably more absurd things. But that's Jesus Christ. Every single time when I think about it, sometimes I just like need to sit for a moment and be like, that really happened. That really happened. Like, oh my god. You break up with a guy and he stalks, and his new girlfriend stalks you. And it haunts you, but I'm also haunting them. So in the end, I think I am winning. I know that they have each other. So I'm not really winning in that part. But I am getting in touch with a different guy. Because if I had a penny for hooking up with a guy a really last minute before I need to leave like a country, and then they travel to see me, I would have 2 pennies. What? So yeah. Yeah, else to say about it? It's been a year, babes. It's been a year. So yeah, I spent this Valentine's with a guy from England. I'm still talking to him, but I friend-zoned him. And then we called again. Oh my god, wait, that also happened. So what the fuck has this year been? So I friends-zoned him. We don't call for like I think a month and a half. We call again. Cause it's been a while. And like in that time period we're friends, we're friendly, and like I know he's been like hooking up and doing things because sometimes he doesn't really respond that quickly after going out. I'm like he's hooking up. I know. We call. I see this hickey in his neck. He's kind of like turned like this most of the time. I see the hickey. I'm not asking questions though. It gets later and later. And then both of us start flirting with each other. And he turns more towards this way. And then in the next day, he proceeds to tell me like, yeah, so I'm in a bit of a hassle now. And then on Sunday we call again. And he's like, yeah, so actually I was talking to this girl and then I told her, yeah, I wasn't talking to anybody because we weren't. And then we flirted. And then so I told her. And then she was like, I cut her off. And then I was like, no. And mind you, in that call, for majority of the time, his best friend is there. Because she's hanging out there. So I'm getting tea from her. I'm having a fun time with her. I'm following her now on Instagram. I'm so cool. I don't even live in that city anymore. I don't even live in England anymore. Mind you, I met this guy on my last ever night while I was in England. And I was drunk. I asked my friend, like, would it be rude if I go up to this guy and be like, yeah, so I think you're cute, but also I'm leaving tomorrow. And then she was like, no, go for it, girl. And then she was sleeping over at my place, and then she needed to sleep over at another friend's place, who, mind you, he was being weird to me on New Year's over Snapchat, so I didn't really talk to him anymore. Who's also the old roommate of that guy? So when they dropped me off basically at his house, that weird guy, that weird friend, was like, oh god, she's really going with him. Yes, sex. What? And then yeah, so somebody asked somebody to cut me off, and it wasn't even the now partner, the partner of my ex, who is my friend, the girlfriend of my ex, who I am now friends with the girlfriend. To be fair, okay, so like there was a guy who traveled to see me in Edinburgh. And on the same night that I hooked up with the English guy, he hooked up with somebody else in India with his best friend of 6 years. She didn't ask me to cut me off, but to be fair, after Edinburgh, we also stopped talking. Still though. And of all the people, it's somebody who's like, yeah, we're not even gonna be together. But then later he proceeds to tell me like, yeah, the second we started flirting, I didn't really care about her anymore. It's like, girly pop, you can never have me, right? But also like, keep going. I downloaded dating apps again. I think at least like 3 times. It's been the longest that I've been on them. I just don't text people. It's really bad. I should do that. But more absurd things that happened. Oh yeah, when I got really drunk actually in July, instead of wanting to call my ex or anything, like I've wanted to in March and all of that, I instead drunk called that British guy. Yet again, I do not know what I'm doing. It's magical and miserable. What are more absurd things that happen? I'm sure there's more. Well, I delayed my studies again. That's not really that fun. I pulled so many all-nighters actually. Yeah, honestly, some things in England are also kind of funny because I pulled an all-nighter for my last ever assignment, and then I handed in at 6 a.m. Go to bed at 7 a.m. I woke up around like 12. Or 1. I don't know. I'm hoping it was 1. Then I proceed to go to school again to print it out. And then I leave. And I'm like, do I need to stay till 4 p.m.? Nobody fucking tells me anything. So I just leave. And then in that evening, I proceed to go out with a friend. And like, I'm flirting with that British dude on that party. He doesn't really come up to me though. There's people are more direct. And then we get home at like fucking 3 a.m. or something. 3:30. And then I have the train to London at 12. And so I'm sitting there, halfly hungover, and then I end the evening walking through London with 2 American girls that I met in my hostel. Very nice. And then the next day I proceed to walk like so much through London, like 20k. And then I go home and I crash out. Yeah. Oh, also, so on my last ever day, I had a conference thingy, presentation thingy that started at like 9 a.m. or 10 a.m. that lasted for like the entire day, up until like 4 p.m. or like 5 p.m. I proceeded to like chat with for like 2 hours with my classmates afterwards because I didn't really want to leave and it was nice and I wanted to get tea and it was just nice. Proceeded to tell one of the guys like, hey, I hooked up with your old roommate because everybody has fucking old roommates there. And he was like, oh, he's really nice. I hope that works. I was like, no, it isn't. Because I already know that, but that's fine. Mind you, with that guy, like that old roommate, I ended up texting a couple of weeks ago, and then it was like, girl, I'm bisexual. I realized it now, because he went through a breakup, and I was like, you go, girl. You go, girl. He hasn't responded back to me. It's been like 2 weeks, or 3. But, you know, whatever. And then I go home. I eat something. My friend comes over, that I always do pre-drinks with. My train gets cancelled for the next day through Edinburgh because there's a fucking storm. I'm like, girl, what the fuck do I do? And I'm like, can you ask one of your sugar daddy twins to drive me there? She's like, I'll ask. And obviously they say no. So then I need to book a Flixbus, but that only goes at 10 a.m. on Sunday. So then I need to book a hostel. It's really shitty. And then it's like, alrighty, I barely drank anything at Pre's, but time to go to the club. Because, well, whatever. And then I get there, and then the people buy me free drinks because it's my last night. And it's like, oh my god, you're leaving? I didn't realize you're leaving. I'm like, yeah, I am. I know, it's really sad. And then I get really drunk. And then I'm still eye-flirting with that guy. And then towards the end of the evening, I'm like, you know what? And I tap him on the shoulder. I'm like, hey, I think you're really cute. And he's like, oh, you want to go over to the chat? And apparently it turns out he was like 5 minutes away from leaving. So I won that night. It was so drunk. We made out there. We made out at the club at school. It's not a place for romance. Anyways, proceed to go home with him. I had a good time. Barely sleep. But have a good time. A couple of times. We watch a movie. Man's horny. We get halfway through the movie and then we have a good time. And I'm like, you know, I haven't booked my train yet to Manchester. because that's where the Flixbus was leaving and the hostel was at. So I'm like, okay, it's like 5 p.m. I have like 2 hours before my train leaves. Or I think it was like 4 p.m. I don't know. I was like, I need to leave right now because I still need to shower and pack the last things. And then it turns out that when I was at home, like, yeah, I'm not working. So I delayed my train with like an hour. And then I'm like, fuck, I still need to bring like a lot of things. So I asked him, like, hey, can you help me? The guy that I hooked up with, mind you. He had a party as well that evening. His pre started at 9. My train left at like 9 something, 9:20. Eventually, I was stressed. But the man helped me. Then the man helped me carry my suitcases to the train station. So I had my goodbye on the train station. But he was like, yeah, I'm not gonna say goodbye properly because like I want to do things. I'm like, yeah. So we kiss. And we leave. And I'm like, so I was not expecting to be this my goodbye of blah 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 of England. I don't know why I'm protecting the name. It's not as if I live there anymore. But did not expect that to be the ending. Anyways, then I proceed to go to the hostel. There is no elevator, and I'm on the first floor, and I have a gigantic suitcase and a tiny suitcase, and I was tired. I was exhausted. I was not having a great time. Go to the hostel. It was not a great hostel, but thank God I was in a woman-only room. But like, I am not having a great time. I sleep in my clothes. But because I had barely any sleep, I slept really well. Then it was like 8 a.m. and I was like, fine. But then I needed to walk 20 minutes through Manchester with my gigantic suitcases. End up at the bus station, buy a sandwich that's absolutely gross. I'm like, I'm not doing this. I'm gonna get sick. Mind you, I have motion sickness and I was gonna be in the bus for 7 hours. Go into the bus, still exhausted. My backpack doesn't fucking fit anywhere. So I need to like empty out the things and like I'm not having a great time. I am absolutely not having a great time. The bus itself honestly was fine because I mostly just kind of slept or looked out of the window and dozed off. I went to the Lake District and it was really pretty. However, the people in front of me were like reclining their sheets and I was like, I have barely any space. I'm losing it. But we had a lot of breaks. I even could go outside for like half an hour. Go into the toilet. It was amazing. It was really pretty. And then I was in Edinburgh. Don't go with gigantic suitcases to Edinburgh. Because the first thing that I did going out of the bus station was a gigantic ass hill. I mind you, I'm from the Netherlands. Everything is flat here. Hill. Yeah, and then I booked a hotel that was kind of cheap, but also kind of outside of Edinburgh, but close to the beach. Anyways, it had a train station. But that train station did not have any elevator, so it had like a tiny stairs. And then I got there. And I finally got there. And I think I immediately just shower. I'm like, this is really, really nice. Man, I was exhausted. Yeah, that weekend was interesting. My God. Anyways, then like the first guy that I hooked up with around Christmas time, he comes over in like midway. Sure, he was in India, mind you, till Tuesday. He comes over on Wednesday. I do not know the hold I have over men that I hook up with for like a really short amount of time, and then I text with, and they're like, what if I just come to see you? I'm like, yeah, what if you come to see me? Anyways, I proceed to find him annoying. Sorry. It's been a year. Absolutely has been a year. Like, me being, like, when I was 20, I became very social. So then I have a couple of fun stories. But it was mostly just, like, me meeting my then boyfriend. And then becoming friends again with my best friend. But me being 21, honestly, not a lot of things happened. I was chilling. I was having my best life. I was genuinely, I was really happy. I was really chill. I moved into this place. That was really, really exciting. That was like, I had a lot of peak moments there because I celebrated 1 year anniversary. Mind you, that was my first 1 year anniversary ever. So that was cute. That was nice. I went to Taylor Swift 3 times. Saw Olivia Rodrigo. Like I was having a great. Well, oh my god, nobody died when I was 21. I did amazing. Yeah, and then I turned 22, which I was really excited about, and I was like, oh, what the fuck. So on one hand, I'm not excited to turn 23 because it sounds a lot older, and then also not the Taylor Swift age. But it's not gonna be that hard for it to be a lot better than 22. What the fuck was this here? Ooh. So yeah. I still had a great time with all of my friends though. Once I came back to this city, my uni city, and like in the last like month or so, 2 months, I've been having a good time. But Jesus Christ, I hit rock bottom a lot of times. Jesus Christ. Yeah, this has been the most chaotic video of all. But I think I want to make a fun little list, being like, so this is the absurd things that happened to me this year. I just have to make a list of it. Because usually it's not that absurd. I was doing it for the plot, or the plot was doing it me this year. I was definitely doing some people sometimes for the plot. Also because it looked good. Yeah. Life is weird. Anyways. Yeah. Next time you'll see me, I'll be older. Weird.